Hey Nakama, this is Gomu Gomu. It's me. My name is Alden, and today we're going to be reviewing episode 1086, A New Emperor, Buggy the Genius Jester. Let's get into this. So, why is Buggy at the center of like everything? He was at the center of Impel Down, Marineford. Now he's at the center of After Wano, but I digress. Anyways, so we start the episode recapping what happened to Kaido and Big Mom, and now we're mentioning how Luffy is the Emperor of the Sea, or a new one rather. And we see some cuts to different parts of the world and see how things are changing, mainly because of what took place on Wano, right? There's no more Big Mom, there's no more Kaido, so their territories are kind of, the world government is being, attacked because people are starting to rise up against them because of how shitty they've been treating people, right? And then we cut back to the Sunny and we see a news bird flying over the Sunny. Gets scared because Nami is slapping Luffy around. Yep, we're back to normal. Luffy is literally the only Yonko, the only captain who gets beat up by his crew on the daily. Like, you're never going to see Kid getting beat up by, Killer and, somebody else on this crew. It's just not going to happen, right? So, she's mad at him for falling for Kid's name calling and putting the whole crew and the Sunny at risk, right? So Jinbei tries to lighten the mood, and Nami's like, Jinbei, stop trying to go easy on him. He's in trouble, right? So the bird finally drops off the news to Robin, and the rest of the crew are doing various things. You know how things on the Sunny go. Like, Frankie's, fixing something on the ship. Brooks messing with his guitar. Chopper and Usopp are scared of Nami right now. Zoro's sleeping. Sanji's swooning after Robin. So we're back to the normal everyday programs, right? So the wanted posters are in, right? We get a commentary of the captain, aka Luffy the Straw Hats, having a fleet of 5,600 members. For everybody who remembers, he didn't want. He was like, no, I don't want a fleet. What are y'all talking about? But they kind of like basically forced it on him. So we get Chopper, right? He's first, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do best, lowest to highest, right? So he's at 1,000 berries. Now, they say he's a pet, which is adorable and sad because to me personally, he's like the backbone of the crew. Like, he helps all the injuries of everybody, the good and the bad, like especially during the Wano arc. But without him, a lot of the injuries sustained wouldn't be fixed in time for there not to be either long-lasting effects or, people passing away. So for him, like, to be regardless, so I know it's like a running joke and it's funny and it's cute, but he should really be up there with how dangerous he technically is with what he can do for his crew. But whatever. He went up by 900 berries, right? So then we cut to Nami. Nami is at 366 million berries, right? She says it's over 100 million. She wishes she could have the money. I mean, she could. Well, how would that work? If you turn yourself in, do you still get the money and you just have to wait out? I don't know. So Brook is at 383 million, and he says thank you like he's at like a concert. He's like, woo, like, okay, calm down, Brook. Frankie is at 394 million berries, which he's not too pressed about the berry amount. He's just upset because he's not even in his picture. It's the Sunny. He's like, forget those guys. Where's my picture, right? So then we cut to God Usopp. Still got Usopp. Find out that he's at 500 million berries, and he's like, yeah, don't go up anymore, right? It's done. So we got the Chopper like crying, rolling around, saying that he doesn't want to be considered a pet. And Robin, who's at 930 million berries, comes over with cotton candy, saying, hey, do you want some? Basically consoling him because she's not pressed about, her berries amount because she doesn't care. She's been worth 80 million since she was 8, so she's like, it's whatever, right? I'm always gonna be a fugitive. So we cut to Sanji, whose berry amount, his bounty is 1,032,000,000, and he's very happy about it going up by a lot, right? And Jinbei, of course, being the humble guy he is, just glad they recognize him as a Straw Hat now. He's like, oh, at least they recognize me as a Straw Hat. He's at 1,100,000,000 berries. And then we see Zoro, who's at 1,111,000,000, which he's happy about because it pisses Sanji off, right? So Zoro starts messing with Sanji, saying he's a 4th place, so we don't have to worry about what he says, right? And then we cut to Luffy, who's still, being tormented by his crew. Not really his crew, Nami, but Luffy is at 3 billion, but we all kind of knew that, right? So the Straw Hats go into the sea, and then we cut to Buggy's island, right? So this is where like the meat and potatoes of the episode starts, right? Like we all knew the bounties were gonna come out and stuff. So, but we have a crowd of people excited about seeing someone, and then we see Crocodile. More whispers, and then we see Mihawk, right? And we hear how great Buggy is for saving his people, which we know it wasn't Buggy, right? We cut to Buggy being hit, and his chop fruit, just his head, and it's saying Crocodile and Mihawk can take whatever they want, just don't take his life. That's usually what people who are cowards say, like, take whatever you want, just don't take me, whatever. Right? So we hear Crocodile saying Crossgill was going to be founded by him and Mihawk, and ask, why are you the boss? Buggy? And Buggy apologizes and says he's sorry, to which Mihawk says Buggy is the first person and last person to become a Yonko by saying sorry. And it sets a bad example, this is still Mihawk talking, that if they let him live, and Crocodile says humiliated, that doesn't even express how I feel, right? So Mr. 3 comes up and he says he's happy to serve Crocodile after such a long time. And we see the remnants of Buggy's original crew and Alvida saying they'd all work for Crocodile. So then we cut to the warlords being, ousted and shunned by the world government, saying that you guys are disbanded. And Crocodile rings up Mihawk, who, Mihawk's on his island and is surrounded by Navy ships, right? So Crocodile says the warlords forfeited their rights at the Reverie, and Mihawk says Crocodile is partly to blame, and Crocodile says, that was a long time ago. So Mihawk blames Crocodile, but I guess we'll get into that later. So Mihawk says he has to relocate himself. So Crocodile proposes that them two team up so they become an organization that the Navy can't ignore. Mihawk was once known as the Navy Hunter. I think that was more so, no, I could be 100% wrong, but I think that was more so looking for the strongest swordsman. Who am I to say he wasn't? So we cut to Captain Buggy's island getting attacked by the Navy, right? But then somebody is sinking all the Navy ships. We see Crocodile and Mr. 1 taking care of the Navy, and an onlooker says that the rumors Crocodile is a henchman of Buggy is true, which rumors spread like wildfire, especially in One Piece. So the crew basically keeps regurgitating that Crocodile works for Buggy, and Buggy's the greatest, Buggy's the man. Even somebody as strong as Crocodile wants to work for him. So we see Buggy say to himself that Crocodile must be there to collect a huge debt that Buggy owes him. The ones who worked for Buggy that were his biggest earners are giants, and they quit recently. I wonder why that is. I wonder if we're going to be getting some very interesting things happening in the world of One Piece. But we got to get into that when we get into that. Crocodile says he could sell Buggy into slavery if he can't pay him. And then, which to Buggy says he'll serve under Crocodile for the company he's trying to start, and he'll work his debt off. Because Crocodile wants to start what we now know as the Cross Guild. And, Buggy's sitting there, Shark Tank pitching himself to Crocodile saying, hey, we can do design, we can do marketing, we can do this. So he's doing whatever he can to stay alive, right? And then we see the famous poster that makes it look like Mihawk and Crocodile work for Buggy. Now, this is like a psychological thing. So, like, if you see three people and one's at the top, you automatically assume, okay, that's the boss and the other two work for him. Now, if you see three in a line, it's like, okay, they all have, like, equal membership. Now, if you see two above and one below, them two are, like, the president and CEO, and the other one's, like, working below them. So that's what it looks like, right? So we cut back to Navy HQ, and they're saying he's the mastermind of Impel Down, which he's not. And he's so well liked that even Crocodile came to his aid when the Navy attacked, which he didn't. I mean, he did, but it wasn't because he liked them. And they're calling him Sir Crocodile. I don't know why he's a Sir. I mean, I know because he's a man, but I don't know when the Sir thing started. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm forgetting because it was so long ago, but I don't remember him being called Sir Crocodile. But I digress. And so he's at 1,965,000,000 berries as his bounty, right? Because he has an ability to lead, intellect, and his Logia is still Nokia is still powerful, right? So he can still be a dangerous person, right? So we see Mihawk, who exceeds Shanks at swordplay and being the greatest swordsman in the world. His bounty is set at 3,590,000,000 berries. That's crazy. Like, that's Yonko level. Buggy, who has a list of phony accomplishments, plus the Navy thinking that Crocodile and Mihawk are under his control, his bounty is 3,189,000,000 berries, right? So he's an emperor and a risk to the world government, so that's why he's, so high, right? So Crocodile says, oh, look, you're an emperor now. You made quite a name for yourself. Mihawk says, on one hand, it's not really a bad idea to have him as a figurehead. And that kind of reminds me, I don't know if you've seen Sopranos, but like when Tony took over, but like in the shadows for a majority, you know, it's like, oh no, that guy's the guy. Worry about him. Don't worry about me. That's the head of the snake, right? So Mihawk says he'd rather live peacefully than to become an emperor, right? So Crocodile asks Mihawk if he's sure, and he says, yeah, let him take the heat, and if we want, we can get rid of him whenever. To which Crocodile agrees. So Buggy struts out and says they founded the Cross Guild. Here are the executives, right? It's Crocodile and Mihawk. So Buggy's crying, but not in joy, which everybody thinks he's crying in joy. So they start crying. Well, not everybody, but like his subordinates. They start crying. But he's in fear for his life. He's like, what's going to happen to me? Like, are they just going to, get rid of me? So that's the end of the episode. So we get to the preview. The preview shows Captain Kobe invading Amazon Lily with pacifistas. Obviously after the warlords have been, like the system of the warlords have been abolished. So he's there, I guess, to capture Boa Hancock. And Blackbeard shows up. So it's going to get pretty fucking crazy. My review for this episode, I'd probably, honestly, with all the information that was packed in, like there wasn't too much action, but all the information, I'd probably give it like an 8, maybe 8.5. Just because, like we had so much information. We had the bounties. We had how the Cross Guild started, why it looks like they're working for Buggy when they're not. And just like a whole lot of, twists and turns. So I liked it. I think next episode is going to be very action-packed, so I'm excited for that, especially with the return of Blackbeard, so that's going to be fun. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be safe and well in your travels. Enjoy the journey, and just know, I will be the king of YouTube. Peace.